We set sail on the Disney Wish with one question in mind. Can the Disney Wish truly capture the magic of Disney and justify a price tag that felt a bit more like fantasy than reality? Stick around as we dive into a ship that's 70% pricier than its rivals, promising a voyage filled with enchanting moments and Disney charm. But does it deliver? With its breathtaking grand hall, interactive dining, and captivating entertainment, the Wish offers a unique cruise experience. Yet the premium cost and a few unexpected surprises might leave you questioning if the magic lives up to the investment. Get ready for an honest breakdown of the highs, the lows, and everything in between. Whether you're a first-time cruiser or a seasoned traveler, this review will help you decide if the Disney Wish is truly your dream vacation. Join us as we reveal the hidden gems and potential pitfalls of this iconic ship. Hey y'all, I'm Evan with Family at Sea, where we help make every cruise unforgettable. Whether you're new here or one of our loyal subscribers, welcome aboard. In today's video, I'll be diving into our recent cruise on the Disney Wish. This ship is packed with Disney magic, but it's also one of the most expensive cruise options out there. So we're breaking down everything, what worked, what didn't work, and whether it's worth the cost. So grab a seat and let's take you through the full experience and whether this cruise is right for your next big adventure. Before you can board the ship, you'll need to go through the usual steps at the cruise port. For those of you new to cruising, this includes checking your bags, going through security, and completing check-in to get your key to the world cards. A few things you'll want to keep in mind here. When you arrive at Port Canaveral's Terminal 8, the first thing you'll do is hand off your luggage to one of the porters waiting curbside. Make sure to have your Disney luggage tags printed and ready ahead of time. If you don't have them, the porters can help you attach them right there, but it'll definitely speed things up if you have them ready to go. Be sure to keep a carry-on bag with essentials like your IDs, swimsuits, dinner clothes, and any medications just in case your luggage takes a while to reach your room. Once your bags are taken care of, you'll walk straight ahead and to the left to enter the large terminal. From there, it's a breeze. Security was quick and check-in was one of the fastest we've ever experienced. Just make sure you have your passport or birth certificate and ID handy, along with your boarding pass, whether it's printed or digital, they both work. Disney Cruise Line is very strict about check-in times, or as Disney calls them, port arrival times, aka PAT. Unlike other cruise lines, you won't be able to enter the terminal early, even if you'd like a cool spot to wait inside. Instead, you'll have to wait outside until your port arrival time, well, arrives. Unfortunately, we experienced this firsthand after disembarking the Utopia of the Seas earlier that morning.
Sir, we just got off the Utopia. We're here before our port arrival time, but we don't have anywhere we can be for... They kicked us off. We had no choice. Yeah. So is there somewhere we can sit so we don't have to sit outside in the heat for 2 hours?
We can't allow anybody in. We check port arrival times.
I understand.
And no, we can't let you in the door till...
Wow.
Arriving 2 hours early meant we had to sit outside on the concrete in the Florida heat until it was our time to check in. Definitely something to plan ahead for. Once your port arrival time opens, you'll enter the lines for your time slot and head into the terminal, and then through check-in and security. You're gonna need your passport or US birth certificate and photo ID for everyone in your group, along with your Disney Cruise Line boarding pass. Once check-in is complete, you'll get your key to the world cards, which you're gonna use to unlock your stateroom, make onboard purchases, and get on and off the ship at ports. Disney's Terminal 8 is well organized with efficient operations and plenty of seating to relax in before boarding begins. So with all the formalities behind us, it was time to take that final walk up the gangway and step aboard the Disney Wish to start our magical adventure. The Disney Wish is a ship that blends elegance with magic, and you'll feel it the moment you step on board. At over 1,100 feet long and weighing in at a massive 144,000 gross tons, this stunning ship rises 15 decks above the ocean, offering a luxurious and immersive experience for up to 4,000 plus passengers, supported by a crew of around 1,500. We boarded on Deck 3, stepping directly into the Grand Hall, which is a breathtaking storybook-inspired atrium filled with shimmering details and Disney touches. As we entered, the crew greeted us with a magical announcement.
Hello.
What family name?
Family at Sea.
Family at Sea family? The family?
Yeah. Family at Sea. It's a YouTube channel.
Oh, you're cool.
Yeah.
It's the Family at Sea.
All right. Woo!
It was the perfect start to our Disney adventure, setting the tone for the incredible journey ahead. With its soaring ceilings, grand staircase, and an impressive statue of Cinderella, the Grand Hall immediately made us feel like we were stepping into a fairy tale. It's hard not to be enchanted as you take in all the details, from the sparkling chandeliers to the subtle nods to Disney stories woven into the design. The magic of the Wish truly begins the second you step on board, and we couldn't wait to explore everything this ship has to offer. No cruise journey truly begins until the sail away party kicks off, or as Disney Cruise Line calls it, the set sail party. This lively celebration marks the official start of your adventure, and on most sailings, it's held on the pool deck on deck 11, where you're surrounded by fresh sea air and plenty of space to join in the fun. For our cruise though, rain on boarding day brought the party indoors to the Grand Hall on deck 3. While this space felt more confined compared to the open pool deck, the energy was still high with music pumping, colorful lighting, and Disney characters leading the celebration. Mickey, Minnie, and their friends arrived in their nautical outfits, danced along to the music, and encouraged the crowd to join in. Kids were beaming as they danced and waved back at their favorite characters. The Set Sail Party is a high-energy event that sets the tone for the rest of your Disney cruise, but it's worth noting that it's especially geared toward younger kids. While our 8 and 10-year-olds had fun, the pacing and activities are clearly designed to captivate the little ones. One of the most magical moments of the party was when the ship's horn played its iconic melodies, signaling the start of our voyage. Hearing classics like When You Wish Upon a Star echo across the port is a signature Disney touch that always feels special and memorable. Compared to sail away parties on other cruise lines, Disney's versions felt a little less interactive for the broader audience. On lines like Royal Caribbean or Norwegian, these events often include giveaways, interactive games, or even bringing guests on stage to compete in fun challenges. Disney's Set Sail Party focuses more on the character performances and musical entertainment, which makes it perfect for families with younger kids, but perhaps less engaging for older cruisers or those looking for a more dynamic experience. That said, it's still a fantastic way to kick off your cruise. The music, the characters, and the celebratory atmosphere created a fun and magical start to our journey. Even with the rain forcing the party indoors, it delivered plenty of smiles and excitement, setting a cheerful tone for the adventure ahead. Before we get into what the cruise cost, a quick request. A lot of hard work goes into creating this content for you guys, and I genuinely hope you'll find it helpful as you plan your own cruise adventures. If you'd please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel, it would mean the world to me. So with that out of the way, back to the review. Before we dive into all the incredible details of our journey aboard the Disney Wish, let's take a moment to talk about pricing. If you're planning a 3-day sailing on the Wish, here's what you can expect. And spoiler alert, Disney cruises are among the most expensive in the entire industry. While cabin type typically plays a significant role in your overall cost, the price savings between lower cabin categories on Disney aren't as significant, at least not on our sailing. For example, an interior room for our 3-day sailing cost $3,600 for a family of 4. Stepping up to an ocean view was $4,000, and a balcony room came in only slightly higher at $4,200. For those looking to splurge, the concierge rooms take luxury to the next level. These exclusive suites feature access to a private lounge, a dedicated concierge team, priority boarding, and even a private sun deck. Of course, all this comes with a hefty price tag, starting at more than $11,000 for just a 3-day sailing. Disney cruises are known for their premium pricing, often costing more than 3 times more than similar cruises on other lines. While soda is included, you won't find much else offered here that other cruise lines don't already provide. It's also worth mentioning that Disney does not offer a drink package, which may be a consideration for some of you. To put this in perspective, the total cost of a comparable room on the Utopia of the Seas, which we had just disembarked, was an astonishing 70% less for a 4-day sailing, giving you an extra day while spending far less overall. There's no doubt that Disney delivers an unforgettable experience, but that magic comes at a premium. For many, the higher price is worth it, but it's something to carefully weigh when considering your next cruise. Our room for this magical 3-day sailing was room 6628, a deluxe ocean view stateroom with veranda. That's a mouthful.
Yep, It sure is.
This was a well-designed space that was just right for our family of 4. One of the standout features of Disney Cruise Line staterooms is their family-friendly layout. To sleep all of us, the room included a queen-size bed for Mackenzie and I, while the kids each took turns deciding who was going to sleep on the sofa bed and who got the Pullman bunk that pulled down from the ceiling. It was a fun setup for the kids, and they loved having their own spots. Another signature Disney feature is the split bathroom design, which is an absolute game changer for families. One side includes a toilet and sink, while the other side has a shower and an additional sink. This makes it so much easier for everyone to get ready at the same time. A small touch that makes a big difference when you're cruising with kids. The room felt bright and whimsical with subtle Disney touches woven into the decor. From the storage space to the clever layout, it's clear that Disney puts a lot of thought into making sure families have everything they need for a great trip. While it wasn't one of the more extravagant concierge rooms, our stateroom had everything we needed to make it the perfect base for exploring the ship. Our cruise took place during Disney Cruise Line's Halloween on the high seas, adding a festive twist to the experience. The ship featured Halloween decor, with most decorations centered in the Grand Hall, where Boo the Pumpkin Tree stood tall. Some of the characters even joined in the fun, dressed in Halloween costumes that added a little extra magic to the character meet and greets. One of the standout events was the Pumpkin Tree Lighting Ceremony, where Boo the Pumpkin Tree comes to life. With lights, storytelling, and a touch of Disney magic, it's a fun way to kick off the Halloween festivities on board. It's a short event, but it's memorable and perfect for families. Compared to Disney's very maritime cruises, which we've done before, the Halloween theming was much more subtle. During the very maritime sailings, the ship is fully transformed with decorations, holiday music, and events that feel like Christmas is everywhere you turn. Halloween, by contrast, was mostly focused on the Grand Hall and character costumes. It didn't shift the overall dynamic of the cruise as much as Christmas does, but it still added a unique seasonal touch. If you're cruising during Halloween, it's a fun way to experience something different. It's not over the top, but it's festive and offers just enough to make the cruise feel special, especially for families with younger kids who love the holiday. One of the biggest reasons to book a Disney cruise are the kids clubs. These spaces are a huge part of what makes Disney such a standout experience for families. Kids absolutely love them, and it's easy to see why. They're far bigger than the kids clubs on most other cruise ships, with tons of themed areas and activities to keep every age group engaged and entertained. The Disney Wish takes things to the next level with its Oceaneer Club, designed for kids aged 3 to 10, and getting there is part of the fun. Kids can skip the stairs and slide straight down from deck 3 to the entrance on deck 2. This whimsical touch sets the tone for the adventure waiting inside. Once the kids enter the Oceaneer Club, they'll discover 5 incredibly themed areas. First up is the Marvel Superhero Academy, where young superheroes can interact with characters like Spider-Man, Iron Man, and Black Panther while completing fun, interactive training activities. It's the perfect spot for any Marvel fan to feel like they're part of the action. For fans of Disney royalty, Fairy Tale Hall offers a magical experience with spaces for arts and crafts, storytelling, and even a royal dress-up area. It's every little prince or princess's dream come true. Over in Star Wars Cargo Bay, kids step into a galaxy far, far away. This space is designed like a starship, complete with alien creatures to care for and high-tech gear to master. Star Wars fans will be in their element as they take on missions and explore the galaxy. The Imagineering Lab is where creativity and imagination take center stage. Here, kids can dive into the world of Disney Imagineers, designing and testing their own roller coasters and even virtually riding them. It's a hands-on educational experience, and it's so much fun. And finally, there's Mickey and Minnie's Captain's Deck, which is a nautical themed area filled with sensory-style games and physical activities. This space is perfect for kids who love interactive play and is a wonderful way to burn off some extra energy. Disney's attention to detail doesn't stop with the themed areas either. It's in every part of the Oceaneer Club. At check-in, kids are greeted by innovative hand-washing stations that make cleanliness fun and easy. And even the bathrooms are thoughtfully designed with kid-sized stalls and sinks paired with colorful themed decor that matches the atmosphere of the club. These touches make every moment here feel magical and perfectly tailored for kids. For toddlers under 3, there's the It's a Small World Nursery, which offers a safe, age-appropriate space filled with toys and activities, all under the care of Disney-trained counselors. cruisers. And for the older kids, preteens and teens have their own dedicated spaces. Edge, which is designed for ages 11 to 14, feels like a trendy hangout with video games, movies, and plenty of space to relax and make new friends. Meanwhile, Vibe, which is for ages 14 to 17, has a more mature coffee shop vibe with games, music, and activities tailored to teens. The clubs don't officially open for kids until the evening of Embarkation Day, but Disney offers open house tours earlier in the day. This is the perfect and only opportunity for parents to check out the space and see everything the kids will get to enjoy before they take over and dive into the fun. Disney's kids clubs aren't just a place for fun though. They're where kids create lifelong memories, meet new friends, and experience a sense of independence. Whether they're becoming superheroes, exploring a galaxy far, far away, or designing roller coasters, these spaces are truly magical for kids and a blessing for parents looking for a bit of downtime. Pools are a big part of any cruise, and the Disney Wish offers plenty to choose from. But here's the thing, while there are a lot of options, the pools are all pretty small and some are extremely shallow, which is something to keep in mind when you're planning to spend a lot of time in the water. On deck 11 midship, you'll find 6 themed pools, each named after a beloved Disney character. The Mickey and Minnie pools are the deepest at 4.5 feet, making them the best option if you want a full swim. For younger kids or those looking just to wade, there are the Donald and Goofy pools, which are both 2 feet deep. And then there's the Daisy and Pluto pools, which are even shallower with just 6 inches of water, perfect for toddlers and little ones looking to safely splash around. If you're looking for a quieter spot, the Chippendale pool at 2 feet deep is tucked away at the front of the ship up on deck 14. For adults craving some relaxation, the Quiet Cove on deck 13 is a peaceful retreat with beautiful ocean views, 2 shallow water benches where you can dip your feet, and a hot tub as well. It's the perfect spot to unwind, though like the family pools, it can get very crowded during peak times. There's also another small splash pool on deck 12 called Trixie's Falls. While the Disney Wish does offer a variety of pools, their smaller size might come as a surprise, especially if you're used to larger pool areas on other ships. But the theming, attention to detail, and thoughtful design makes each one feel special, even if they're compact. Pools aren't the only way to make a splash on the Disney Wish though. This ship is packed with water attractions that bring extra excitement to your cruise. Aqua Mouse was one of the highlights of our cruise, and it's a water coaster that blends excitement, storytelling, and pure Disney magic. We headed there straight after boarding, and it was the perfect decision. With no lines, we managed to ride it 7 times back to back, often without even having to get out of the raft as there was nobody else waiting in line. Between the fun twists and turns, the storytelling elements, and the special effects, it was an unforgettable experience for all ages that you won't want to miss. Over near the Toy Story splash zone is Slidosaurus Rex, a gentle water slide designed for younger kids. It's a slow, steady ride that's ideal for little ones looking for a bit of adventure without too much speed. While it's not likely to throw older kids or adults, it's the perfect introduction to water slides for the youngest cruisers. The Toy Story splash zone itself is a colorful, interactive area created just for toddlers and smaller kids. With sprinklers, small slides, and water cannons, it's a playful space themed after Andy's backyard. The familiar Toy Story characters and safe, shallow water make it the ultimate spot for the littlest adventurers to cool off and have fun. Whether you're zipping through the Aqua Mouse or watching your kids laugh and play in the splash zone, the Disney Wish offers water fun for everyone. These attractions add another layer of magic to your cruise experience. Dining on the Disney Wish was without a doubt a highlight of our cruise. Every meal was its own magical experience. One of the most exciting features of the ship are its 3 main dining rooms, each offering something completely different. With Disney's rotational dining, you get to enjoy all 3 during your sailing, and your servers move with you, making each night both personal and fun. On night 1, we dined in 1923, named after the year Disney was founded. This restaurant is split into 2 sections, one themed after Walt Disney and the other after his brother Roy Disney. We ate in the Walt Disney section, surrounded by fascinating memorabilia and concept art from Disney's earliest animated classics. Ambiance was elegant with a California-inspired menu that blended sophistication and comfort. Night 2 took us to Worlds of Marvel, a high-tech dining experience that brought the Marvel Cinematic Universe to life. This wasn't just dinner, it was an interactive adventure as we joined Ant-Man and the Wasp for a fun, family-friendly mission, complete with surprises that had our whole table laughing and cheering. The creative menu featured dishes inspired by Marvel heroes, and the themed drink specials were a fun touch. On night 3, we wrapped up our dining rotation in Arendelle, a frozen dining adventure. This immersive restaurant combines Nordic-inspired cuisine with a live show featuring Anna, Elsa, Kristoff, and Olaf. The story picks up right after the events of Frozen 2, and it felt like we were a part of a royal celebration. The food was delicious, and the entertainment made the experience unforgettable for all of us. One thing that really stood out was how much fun the servers brought to every meal. Whether it was magic tricks, dancing, or joking with our kids, they made each night feel special and added so much energy to the experience. For quick bites, Mickey's Festival of Foods on the pool deck was perfect, with options like pizza, barbecue, and Mackenzie's favorite, tacos. We also checked out the Marceline Market, which is the ship's buffet, which had a good variety of options, though it could get pretty busy at peak times. Room service was available as well, but we didn't have time to try it out on this short 3-day sailing. Mackenzie, who's vegetarian, was thrilled to see multiple vegetarian options on the menu every night, something we rarely find on other cruise lines. She appreciated having plenty of choices, and the food didn't just feel like an afterthought, which is often the case elsewhere. While there are specialty dining options on board like Palo and Enchante, they're adults only, so we skipped them this time. We know from previous cruises how great specialty dining is on DCL, but we didn't want our kids to miss out in the fun main dining room experiences, and with it being only a 3-day cruise, that didn't really leave any time for these experiences. When we do a 7-day sailing on the Disney Treasure next spring, we'll be sure to check these out. Overall though, the food was good, the service was fantastic, and the entertainment was top-notch. Dining on the Disney Wish wasn't just about the meals, it was part of the magic, and both our kids and Mackenzie and I truly loved it. It was easily one of the most memorable parts of the cruise experience. The Walt Disney Theater is where the main shows take place on board the Disney Wish. It's a well-designed venue with comfortable seating, modern amenities, and a balcony level for extra viewing options. While it's a nice space, it didn't have anything particularly unique to make it stand out compared to other theaters on more modern cruise ships, but the shows themselves were enjoyable, entertaining for the entire family, but not as grand or awe-inspiring as the large-scale productions you might see on other lines like Royal Caribbean. Still, they provided a great way to end each day of our cruise. On our 3-day sailing, we had the chance to see 3 different productions in the main theater. Disney Seize the Adventure kicked things off on night 1. This show wasn't based on a single Disney movie like others, but instead featured a mix of characters and songs from various films. While it was fun to see so many Disney favorites in one place, it didn't feel as cohesive or polished as the other 2 shows and was our least favorite of the 3. On night 2, we saw Aladdin, which was the standout production of the trip. The genie completely stole the show with his humor and over-the-top personality, and the sets, costumes, and musical performances were top-notch. It captured the spirit of the animated classic perfectly and was an absolute highlight for us. We ended with The Little Mermaid on night 3. This retelling of the Disney classic stayed true to the original story while adding a few fresh touches to keep things interesting. The performances were strong and the musical numbers really hit the mark, especially for our kids who loved every moment. While it wasn't quite as impressive as Aladdin, it was still a very solid production. One drawback worth noting was the concierge guests have early access to the theater, which means the best seats are often taken before the general admission begins. While other cruise lines offer reserved seating for suites, it's typically off to the side or farther back, allowing early arrivals to still snag the best spots. On Disney, however, this policy can make it difficult to get prime seating no matter how early you arrive, which was a little frustrating. While the productions on the Disney Wish may not rival the scale of what other cruise lines are doing, the mix of storytelling, live music, and family-friendly fun made them a great part of our cruise experience. When it comes to bars and lounges, Disney Cruise Line takes a different approach. Unlike many other cruise lines, drinking on board isn't a big focus on Disney, which is why they simply don't offer drink packages. Instead, the focus is squarely on the Disney experience. While this is one of the things people love about Disney cruises, it also means fewer bars and less seating than you'd find on other similarly sized ships. This was something we honestly noticed a lot. There were a number of times we wanted to grab a drink, relax, or maybe strike up a conversation, but every single bar on the ship was completely full. It wasn't a deal breaker, but it's something to keep in mind if grabbing a drink is part of your cruise routine. That said, the bars and lounges on the Disney Wish, absolutely stunning. Each one is beautifully themed and truly an experience of their own. Deck 3 is home to some of the most iconic spaces on the Disney Wish, including the Grand Hall, the Walt Disney Theater, and a few of the ship's most popular bars and lounges. It's a high energy area and often one of the busiest spots on the ship. One of the most talked about venues on the ship is the Star Wars Hyperspace Lounge, and for good reason. This immersive bar transports you to a galaxy far, far away with panoramic spaceport views, themed cocktails, and a sleek, futuristic vibe that makes you feel like you're aboard a luxury starship. It was my personal favorite bar on the ship, but finding a seat was tricky. The lounge technically limits groups to 45 minutes to help cycle guests through, but this wasn't strictly enforced and it was often at capacity. If you do manage to snag a spot though, it's absolutely worth it for the drinks, the ambiance, and the incredible Star Wars themed experience. Next is the Bayou, inspired by the Princess and the Frog. This lounge is a feast for the eyes with twinkling lights, lily pads, and a jazz club atmosphere straight out of New Orleans. The cocktails here are as creative as the decor, and live jazz performances really bring the space to life. Unfortunately, like Hyperspace, seating here was extremely limited and it was packed almost every time we passed through. Still, it's worth checking out if you can grab a spot. Another standout there on Deck 3 is Nightingales, which is a piano lounge inspired by Cinderella. This space is classy, quiet, and just perfect for a pre-dinner drink or a relaxed nightcap. The live piano music adds so much to the atmosphere and the cocktails are beautifully presented. If you're looking for a more sophisticated vibe, this is the place to go. But again, limited seating is a recurring issue, so timing is everything. Finally, there's Preludes, located just outside the Walt Disney Theater, and Preludes is more of a quick service spot than a lounge. Offering drinks and popcorn for guests heading into the show, it's convenient but not a place to linger or relax. Deck 4 is home to a mix of unique and functional spots, with Luna's Libations being the standout. Located near the Luna entertainment venue, this bar is more of a service bar than a traditional lounge. It's where you grab a drink before or during a show at Luna. While it's convenient, it's not designed for relaxing or socializing. Next is the Wishing Star Cafe, which is a coffee shop that also happens to serve cocktails. This spot has a cozy vibe and is great if you're looking for a quick drink or an espresso pick-me-up. It's small though, so seating is limited. Then there's Hook's Barbery, which is such a unique addition to the ship. It's a full-service barbershop inspired by Peter Pan, but it's also a small bar and hosts occasional drink events. It's not your typical bar, but it's a fun, quirky space worth checking out if you're in the mood for something different, but it's not always serving, so you're gonna need to check the schedule to make sure you're there at the right time. As you make your way up to Deck 5, you'll find Keg and Compass, which is one of the most relaxed and inviting spots on board. This nautically themed pub is packed with maritime details like maps and ship models, creating a cozy, casual atmosphere. It's a great space to enjoy a beer or cocktail and catch a game. There's more seating here than in some of the other lounges, but it still fills up during peak times. Nearby, you'll find the Enchanted Sword Cafe, which is another dual-purpose coffee shop that serves a limited cocktail menu. It's honestly pretty much exactly the same as the one on Deck 4, and like the Wishing Star Cafe, it's more of a grab-and-go spot than a place to really hang out. Lastly, there's the Triton Lounge, which is a multi-purpose space where you can find activities like karaoke. While it's not a dedicated bar, crew members pass through to take drink orders periodically so you can enjoy a cocktail while participating in the fun. Deck 11 features several options for drinks while enjoying the sun. One of the highlights are the circular pool bars on the port and starboard sides of the ship. These are great for grabbing a quick refreshment, whether it's a beer, cocktail, or a non-alcoholic drink, but the seating there though is going to be with the nearby loungers and tables where you can enjoy your drink. Up on deck 12, you'll find Wheezy's Freezies, which is a fun and casual spot offering frozen drinks. It's perfect for cooling off on a warm day and has options for both kids and adults. So whether you're craving a smoothie or a frozen Dole Whip cocktail, this is a great go-to spot. There's also the Rose, located near the specialty dining restaurants. This lounge has a sophisticated upscale vibe, offering stunning ocean views. It's an ideal spot for a pre-dinner drink or a quieter, more refined evening. Deck 13 is home to the Quiet Cove, which is the adults only retreat on board. This area offers a peaceful escape from the hustle and bustle, and it's where you'll find both the Cove Cafe and the Cove Bar. The Cove Cafe is a coffee shop by day serving lattes and cappuccinos, and transitions into a cocktail bar in the evenings. It's a cozy spot with comfortable seating, perfect for unwinding after a long day. The Cove Bar is located right by the infinity pool and serves a great selection of cocktails, beer, and wine. The vibe here is serene, making it the perfect place to sip a drink while soaking in a quiet, kid-free atmosphere. Finally, up on deck 14, there's Currents, which is an outdoor bar with breathtaking views. It's a fantastic spot to grab a drink and enjoy the fresh air. Seating is available both at the bar and along the railing, where you can get a great view of the Funnel Tower Suite, which is Disney's luxury accommodation nestled in one of the ship's smokestacks. Currents is a great place to relax, especially in the evenings as the sun sets. In summary, the bars and lounges on the Disney Wish are some of the most beautifully designed spaces at sea. While the limited seating can make it tough to fully enjoy them, each venue offers a unique experience that's worth exploring. Whether you're sipping a creative cocktail in the Hyperspace Lounge or enjoying a quiet moment in the Cove, there's a little something for everyone if you can find a seat.
And this place is packed.
When the sun goes down on the Disney Wish, the fun keeps going strong. Whether you're into live performances, exciting parties, or just enjoying a relaxing night under the stars, there's plenty to do on this ship after dark. The Pirates Rockin' Parlay Party is one of Disney's signature nighttime events, and it's an absolute blast. Picture this, you're out on the top deck, surrounded by the sea, as music fills the air and Disney characters dressed as pirates join the party. There's live entertainment, dancing, and an amazing atmosphere overall. And then, the highlight, Disney's famous fireworks at sea. Watching the sky light up as the ship sails along is such a unique and magical experience, and it's something only Disney Cruise Line offers. And here's a pro tip for you. While it's officially not allowed, if you're on the starboard side of the ship and don't want to be surrounded by people, head out to your balcony and you can watch the fireworks shoot off from the privacy of your own balcony in your pajamas. Another great evening option is catching a performance by the Victrophonics and Luna. The first time we saw them, we weren't really sure what to expect, but we were blown away by just how talented they are. This group of musicians is absolutely incredible. They take Disney classics and even modern hits and give them a fresh spin with their harmonies and arrangements.
Any people heart size will come. Let's see what.
It's a truly memorable performance by very talented musicians and was one of the highlights of the cruise for us. If you're in the mood for something more active, head over to Hero Zone, which turns it into a hub of fun activities. You can play basketball on the full-sized court, challenge your friends or family to a game of ping pong, or even try your hand at air hockey or shuffleboard. There's also foosball, which always brings out a little friendly competition. But the standout activity here are the Incredigames, which are an inflatable obstacle course inspired by the Incredibles. It's such a fun, unique experience and a great way to burn off some energy before calling it a night. They don't do this at all times, so be sure to keep an eye on the schedule for this. For movie fans, Disney makes sure you're covered too. Up on the pool deck, Funnel Vision shows Disney classics and new releases under the stars. There's just something about watching a movie outside with the ocean breeze and the sound of the waves in the background that makes it feel extra special. And if you prefer a more traditional movie experience, the ship has 2 boutique theaters, Wonderland Cinema and Neverland Cinema. These theaters are cozy with state-of-the-art sound and projection, and they play a mix of Disney, Pixar, Marvel, and Star Wars films. Whether it's a favorite you've seen 100 times or a new release you've been waiting to watch, it's a great way to wind down. No matter how you like to spend your evenings, the Disney Wish has something for everyone. Whether it's a cocktail and conversation you're looking for, or something the entire family will enjoy. Let's talk about one of the most peaceful spots on the Disney Wish, the Quiet Cove, which is the adults only retreat on board. If you're looking for a break from the hustle and bustle of family activities, this is the place to be. Located on Deck 13, Quiet Cove is beautifully designed with relaxation in mind. The centerpiece is the infinity pool, which looks out over the aft of the ship, giving you unbeatable ocean views. Whether you're taking a dip or just lounging by the pool with a drink in hand, it's the perfect place to unwind. In addition to the infinity pool, there are also 2 small splash pools nearby. These shallow pools have built-in benches and just enough water for you to dip your feet in while you sit back and relax. They're a unique feature and add to the tranquil vibe of the area. Surrounding the pool area, there's plenty of seating from loungers to cozy cabana-like chairs that are ideal for curling up with a book or just soaking up the sun. And because it's an adults-only area, it's incredibly peaceful, no splashing or noise, just the sound of the ocean and maybe a little soft music in the background. We've already talked about the Cove Cafe and the Cove Bar, but these truly hit the spot whether you're looking for your caffeine fix or a yummy cocktail by the pool. Another standout feature of Quiet Cove are the hot tubs tucked away on the port and starboard sides as you make your way to the main area of the Quiet Cove. They're nicely tucked away, giving you a private feel while still having those amazing ocean views. Overall, Quiet Cove is one of those spaces that feels like a hidden gem on the Disney Wish. It's calm, serene, and a little slice of paradise for adults looking to recharge. Whether you're swimming, sipping a drink, or just enjoying the view, it's a reminder that Disney cruises aren't just for kids. There's plenty here for the grown-ups as well. Before we jump into the actual scores for the Disney Wish, a quick request for you to like this video and subscribe to my channel. A lot of hard work goes into creating this content for you guys, and liking it will not only help the channel, it'll help you by making sure that YouTube shows you more great content like this. So with that out of the way, the moment you've been waiting for, how does the Wish measure up? Like we do with every cruise, we went into our journey on the Disney Wish with 0 expectations. As always, there were some highlights as well as a few areas that we think could have been improved. When I'm reviewing ships, I do my best to stay as objective as possible, and to help with that, I've created what I call the Cruiser's Beacon, which is a standardized system I use to score cruise ships against one another. It's designed to give you a clear, fair, and consistent way to compare ships and decide which ones might be right for your next big adventure. So here's how it works. Ratings are based on a scale from 1 to 10, but I avoid giving a score of 7. Why? Because 7 is basically the default, it wasn't great, but it wasn't horrible answer. And I want to push myself to really think about how each category stacks up. Something else to keep in mind is that these scores are focused on the experiences available to everyone on board, not just those sailing in the suites or premium accommodations. For this sailing on the Disney Wish, we stayed in a standard stateroom, so this really wasn't a factor here, but even when we do stay in suites, we don't factor those premium experiences into the scores because 95% of cruisers are not staying in suites. Now let's break down the categories we'll be using to rate the Disney Wish. Crew. The crew can make or break a cruise. Even the most incredible ship can feel lackluster if the crew doesn't deliver great service. On the flip side, an outstanding crew can elevate a ship that might otherwise feel average. For this category, we'll consider how attentive, friendly, and helpful the crew were throughout our sailing. Food is such a huge part of any cruise experience. We'll look at the quality of the food itself, but also the service that comes with it. From the main dining rooms to casual bites and even room service and specialty dining, we'll share our thoughts on what you can expect to enjoy or not From the main dining rooms to casual bites and even room service and specialty dining, we'll share our thoughts on what you can expect to enjoy or not on the Disney Wish. Great entertainment can take a cruise from good to unforgettable. Whether it's the main theater shows, live music in the lounges, or unique performances around the ship, we'll rate how well the Disney Wish delivered in this category. Disney is known for being a family-friendly brand, so this is an important category for the Wish. We'll consider everything from the kids clubs and activities to how well the staff interacted with kids, the variety of kid-friendly food options, and anything else that contributed to our kids' overall enjoyment of the ship. The ship itself plays a huge role in the overall experience. We'll look at everything from how clean and well maintained the Disney Wish is to how well the spaces are laid out, how crowded things feel, and whether there were any standout design features or areas that didn't quite hit the mark. This category looks at the overall experience compared to the price we paid for the cruise. It also takes into account what's included in the fare versus what costs extra. Disney cruises are known for being expensive, so this is going to be an interesting score to break down. And finally, we'll give an overall score for the Disney Wish, which will be a composite of all the categories. This final number will help us compare the Wish to other ships we've reviewed and give you a sense of where it stands. Now that you know how the cruiser's beacon works, let's jump into the scores and see how the Disney Wish stacks up. Alright, the moment you've been waiting for. How does the Wish measure up? First up, the crew. Disney is known for its incredible service, and for the most part, the crew on the Disney Wish delivered on that reputation. Our head waiter and assistant waiter in the main dining rooms were absolutely fantastic. They brought so much energy to our dinners every night, not just with their excellent service, but also with fun magic tricks that both the kids and adults loved. Their positive attitude made every meal feel like a highlight of the day. On the flip side, we really didn't see much of our cabin steward during the cruise, which was a little disappointing. They did a great job keeping our room clean, which is of course their main responsibility, but we always enjoy getting to know our steward during a cruise, and we really didn't have that opportunity this time around. One area where service fell a bit short was at the bars. They were often extremely busy, and it was clear the crew was stretched thin trying to keep up with demand. While this wasn't the fault of the staff themselves, they were working incredibly hard. It did mean that drink service could be slow at times. That said, there were also moments where the crew really went above and beyond. One evening at Nightingale's, I ordered a drink that I tried and I just didn't like it. I wasn't going to say anything about it, but when the bartender noticed I hadn't finished, he insisted that I didn't need to pay for it, even when I offered to. That level of attentiveness and care really stood out. Overall, while there were a few areas for improvement, the crew aboard the Disney Wish was friendly, hardworking, and brought plenty of that signature Disney magic. For me, the crew scores a very solid 8 out of 10. Next up is food, one of the most talked about aspects of any cruise experience. The dining on board the Disney Wish was definitely one of the highlights of our trip. Disney does things a bit differently with their rotational dining concept, where you visit a different main dining room each night and your servers rotate with you. On our 3-night sailing, we got to experience all 3 of the ship's main dining rooms: 1923, Worlds of Marvel, and Arendelle. Each of these offered a unique themed experience. The 1923 dining room was a nod to Disney's early days, with elegant decor and a classic menu that felt more upscale. We had some of our favorite dishes of the trip here, and the setting was stunning with all of the Disney memorabilia on display. Worlds of Marvel brought a fun, interactive dining experience with its superhero themed meal and the Quantum Encounter show. The food here leaned toward more adventurous flavors. While not everything was a hit for us, it was a lot of fun for the kids. Arendelle delivered on entertainment with live music and characters from Frozen joining you for dinner. Food here was good, and the lively atmosphere made it a memorable experience. Outside of the main dining rooms, there were plenty of other options to keep us full. Mickey's Festival of Foods on Deck 11 was a big hit, especially for quick meals during the day, and we also appreciated the variety in the buffet at Marceline Market, which had something for everyone. As a vegetarian, Mackenzie loved that there were multiple vegetarian options available each night, even in the main dining rooms. That's something we don't always see on other cruise lines, and it made a big difference. Service across the dining venues was fantastic, especially in those main dining rooms, as our servers brought so much energy and personality to each meal, making dinner a highlight for both us and the kids. Overall, the dining experience aboard the Disney Wish was creative, creative, fun, and delicious. And based on the food and service, I'm gonna give it another solid 8 out of 10. Next up is entertainment, a key part of any cruise experience, and Disney is known for its top-tier storytelling and performances both at sea and on land. On the Disney Wish, the main theater offers 3 big shows: Disney Sees the Adventure, Aladdin, and The Little Mermaid. Of the 3, Aladdin was the clear standout for us. With its perfect storytelling, humor, and music, it all came together in a really great way, making it the most polished and enjoyable of the 3 productions. The Little Mermaid was another strong contender with stunning visuals and a great performance, and even a few creative twists that made it feel new while staying true to the original Disney classic. The final of the 3 shows was Disney Sees the Adventure. While still entertaining, it didn't quite meet the bar set by the other 2 shows. It felt less cohesive and lacked the wow factor that made Aladdin and The Little Mermaid so memorable. While it had its moments, it wasn't quite as impactful overall. And as I've already mentioned, we also caught Victrophonics performing in Luna, and they were a pleasant surprise. This group was fantastic, delivering fresh takes on Disney classics, and their harmonies and energy added something special to the entertaining lineup. When you combine these offerings, the Disney Wish offers a solid entertainment experience. Aladdin was the runaway winner of the shows we saw, while the other shows, though enjoyable, didn't quite hit the same high notes. Taking everything into account, I'm gonna score entertainment a third 8 out of 10. Disney is known for creating magical experiences for the entire family, and the Disney Wish absolutely delivered in this category. The Oceaneer Club, which is the kids club designed for ages 3 to 10, was a massive hit with our kids. The theme spaces like Marvel Superhero Academy, Fairy Tale Hall, and Star Wars Cargo Bay kept them entertained for hours. Plus, that slide from deck 3 down to deck 2 was such a fun and unique way to start their adventures each day. For the older kids and teens, the Edge and Vibe spaces offered plenty to do with games, music, and a more relaxed atmosphere tailored to their age groups. Disney really understands how to create spaces that feel cool and engaging for teens as well as kids. The pool deck was another big win. While the pools themselves were small, the variety of water features and the kid-friendly slides like Slidosaurus Rex and the Toy Story Splash Zone meant there was always something for the kids to do. And of course, the Aqua Mouse stole the show. The fact that we were able to ride it multiple times without waiting in long lines was a huge plus, and our kids couldn't get enough. The dining experience was another highlight for families, with their rotational dining concept, meaning every night felt new and exciting with themes and entertainment built right into the meals. The waitstaff went out of their way to make sure the kids were happy, and the variety of kid-friendly menu options was a big improvement over what we've seen on other cruise lines. If there was one minor downside, it's that the sheer popularity of family-friendly spaces on board made them sometimes feel quite crowded. Oceaneer Club, for example, was very busy during peak times, and finding seats at the pools could be a real challenge. Still, it's hard to find fault in how much thought and effort Disney puts in creating an exceptional family experience. From the interactive dining and incredible kid spaces to the fun water attractions, the Disney Wish is one of the most family-friendly ships we have ever sailed on. For us, this category scored a perfect 10 out of 10. And now, the ship itself. The Disney Wish is visually stunning, and you can tell that Disney put a lot of thought into its design. The Grand Hall is absolutely breathtaking with its sparkling chandelier, elegant staircase, and Disney details everywhere you look. This ship was clean and well maintained throughout our sailing, with no signs of wear and tear anywhere we went. One thing we really appreciated was how immersive the ship felt. Whether you were in the themed dining rooms, the lounges, or even just walking through the hallways, Disney's attention to detail was everywhere. It really felt like you were a part of the story the entire time. However, there were some downsides to the ship's layout and functionality. The pool areas felt especially crowded, with limited seating around those main pools. Even though the pools themselves are designed for smaller groups, the surrounding spaces really didn't do much to alleviate the congestion. Another issue we noticed was how packed some of the common areas could get during peak times, especially in places like the Grand Hall or the lounges. With so many families on board, it could feel a little overwhelming trying to navigate through certain areas or to find a quiet spot to relax. One surprising issue was the Wi-Fi, which was slow and struggled to handle basic tasks. For a premium cruise line like Disney, this was disappointing, especially considering we paid a whopping $42 per day for the internet package on board. If you're someone who needs to stay connected, this is definitely something to be aware of. Overall, while the Disney Wish is an absolutely beautiful ship and delivers on its immersive Disney charm, the crowding and functional limitations in key areas hold it back from being truly exceptional. Based on these factors, I'm giving the ship a 6 out of 10. Finally, let's talk about value, a category that's especially important when considering just how much a Disney cruise costs. There's no way around it. Disney cruises are expensive. For our 3-day sailing, the cost for a family of 4 in a balcony stateroom was a whopping $4,200. Compare that to cruises on other lines like Royal Caribbean, where you can find balcony rooms for 70% less, even on longer 4-day sailings, and it's clear that Disney commands a huge premium. What you're really paying for here is the Disney tax. While Disney excels at attention to detail, creating immersive environments and delivering that signature magic, there's no doubt that a big part of the cost comes down to the brand itself. When you're paying for such a significant premium, you might expect the ship to feel less crowded than other, less expensive cruise lines. But unfortunately, that's simply not the case. In fact, the Disney Wish has less public space per passenger than many other cruise ships in its class. For example, recent cruises we've taken on the Norwegian Encore and Sun Princess had similar passenger capacities, but those ships are physically quite a bit larger, which means you have more room to spread out and the spaces feel less cramped compared to the Disney Wish. While Disney does include soda in the fare and delivers incredible kids programming, entertainment, and dining experiences, those highlights don't make up for the high price tag and the limited space on board. For us, when you factor in the Disney tax, the crowding, and the high cost compared to what's actually included, the value for the Disney Wish comes in at a very low 2 out of 10. So we've scored all the individual categories. How do they stack up when combined? The Disney Wishes score across all 6 categories: crew, food, entertainment, family friendly, ship, and value comes out to 6.67 out of 10. While some categories like family friendly and entertainment scored very high, the lower score for value brings down the overall number quite a bit. Still, the Disney Wish delivers a strong cruising experience, especially for families looking for that signature Disney magic. So that's it, everyone. Our in-depth review of the Disney Wish is a wrap. If you're looking to learn all the things we wish we knew before our first Disney cruise, be sure to check out the video linked above. And if you'd like to watch an immersive vlog of our actual journey on the Disney Wish, click the link at the end of this video. When it comes to the Disney Wish, there's a lot to unpack. Overall, this was not a bad cruise experience. In fact, the Disney Wish delivers some truly magical moments, and there's no doubt it's a ship that many families will absolutely love. From the incredible dining and the entertainment to the top-notch kids clubs, there's a lot to like here. That said, it's also one of the most expensive cruises you can take. And when you combine the premium price tag with some of the functional challenges like crowding and limited public space, it's not a ship I'd recommend for every family. If you're willing to pay the Disney tax for those unique touches and immersive environments, the Disney Wish might be worth it. But if you're looking for a better balance of cost, space, and onboard inclusions, there are other ships out there that might be a better fit. As always, thank you for watching, and until next time, smooth seas and happy sails. Bon voyage!